Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. For today's video, we are presenting our record center, which is SNS Record Center for IMD224 Management of Record Center. This video presented by Fifi, Iliyana, Roslan, Muhammad Zakwan, Muhammad Farid, Muhammad Taufiq, Abdullah, Nurul, Raihan, Nabilah, Kamal, Ariffin. So, I will continue the presentation with the introduction of SNS Record Center. So, this is our logo, and why we create and choose this logo because it's figure transparency between our team, SNS team, and our client. Its classification and simplicity that all the record needs to be classified between on the base requirement. And this is our vision of SNS Record Center, and will be the one agency that provide the best specialized and managing, storing and maintain quality for record for keeping the custom record. Next, this is our mission is to gain knowledge and technique to serve the community and ensure them to be satisfied with our service. Next is establishing an administrative structure. So here I will introduce our backbone of SNS team, which is Muhammad Zakwan, Muhammad Farid as our record manager, Nurul, Raihan, Nabilah as our leader for administration department, Taufiq, Abdullah as a professional skills for internal technology, and the last one is Fifi, Iliyana, Roslan as managing the storage and processing record.
Hello dan Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Taufiq Abdullah. Card matrix 2019263948. Okay, today I would like to explain more about chapter 3, which is collecting information about record system. And first of all, about a record survey that is consumed of documents, vital records, multimedia resources, maps and plans, and pictures are all part of our record collections. To be better on understanding of what a record center is and what its features are, and lastly to understand the true definition of the term. For the outcomes, it is essential sources of administrative, evidentiary and historical information, and the record management policy is an information asset for the company. Next, it is to describe as the discipline of management that oversees the development, receptions, maintenance, use and distribution, storage and destruction of records in an efficient and methodical manner. Furthermore, it determines if a record is valuable or not. We must do an appraisal so that the records are still new and everyone can access it. And the last one is determines that the record has no value, it will be destroyed. Right, for the chapter 4, we move to deciding on a physical site for the record center. The location of the building is at 27 Jalan Sultan Ismail, Kuala Lumpur 50450, Kuala Lumpur, Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur, and it bordered by government office such as Wisma Genting and Menara Bank Islam. But the disadvantages of this place is the flood is a potential calamity for this place. The transportation system that can access this place is such as accessible for automobiles and public transit due to the strategic position. Staff can use bus, MRT and LRT, also that they can use e-hailing services nearby such as Grab service. We also provide parking space and designed parking area for individual with disability or OKU. Last but not least, we also have a loading dock. For the communication system, we communicate across a geographical system. We also has the disaster relief, and we got access from firefighters, police officers and paramedics that can coordinate their actions based on our place. Last but not least, we interact with our staff by phone, fax, and other forms of social media. And last but not least, there is a list of potential communication system that we use in our record center. First, we got telephone line, we got fax, we got email, website, and social media. And last but not least, internet facilities.
Alright, now I will cover the constructing or adapting a building for use as a record center. So I will briefly explain about area and space. So the planned dimension is 90 times 100 feet, that is equal to 9,000 square feet. So the SNS record center will be constructed with an open and expensive idea, with the record center management team catering to this place. So they are planned to construct an office equipment and workstation. So right here you can see the floor plan. So right here there is a 3D preview of drawing floor plan. Alright, now we move to the furniture and equipment. So down here we list out the furniture that we put in our record center. So we have square shelf, brown bookshelf, personal desks, office chair, set meeting table, counter table, 2+1 sofa seat, double seated sofa, and glass table. So we also have list out the price per quantity. Alright, now we move to the building materials and structures. So we have employed high quality materials for our construction. Furthermore, because we have an experienced architect and designer, our record center is safe and well constructed. So as you can see below, for the floor base in our departmental record center, limestone, steel, and woods are used as floor layers since they can withstand higher impact and cause severe damage. For the walls, weathercoat anti-dust will be applied on our structure to provide protection against algal and fungal growth on the walls. The coat also protects against the elements such as rain. So the main structure of the building are composed of steel and concrete, which are non-flammable and sturdy enough to protect data and all of our employees. Alright, now we move to the temperature, relative humidity, and light control. So first of all, as a librarian, we already know that record must be protected from extremes of temperature, relative humidity, and light in order to be preserved. So for the temperature control, we have chose Panasonic ceiling air conditioner that have 2 horsepower and it costs around 2,300 per unit. Alright then, for the dehumidifiers, we have chose Tatsugo brand that have the feature 2-in-1 dehumidifier and air purifier. So we have put it 1 unit only in our record center and it costs around 2,000 per unit. So our team management have decided to choose these dehumidifiers because it has a latest specification with the best price.
So for the next part is conducting a pilot project to manage the records of selected agencies. So this is the strength of our record center. First is provide excellent record keeping services in all record formats. So we accept all record formats and we do keep it in a safe way. Next is high level of protection. We only keep it in our storage room and is considered to be a really safe room. Next is transportation service provided by SNS Record Center. We provide transportation service from our client agency to our agency, so they do not have to do all this work, so we're gonna handle it. Next is easy to locate the location. Provide references service by manual and online surfaces, so all of our clients can check their records with manual or online surface. And lastly is provide training to our staff. All of our staff are being trained before they are being accepted to our agency. Next is the weakness of the record center. First is loss or misplaced information. So this is usually happen, I think, for our whole record center, where we always misplace the information because of too many records that we accept and need to take care of. And next is maintenance cost. So the more records we accept, the more storage room that we need to build and a perfect place to keep it safe. And next is limited training for staff. So although we do provide training, but obviously it does cost much for us. And lastly is lack of accessibility. Next is a positive and negative clients feedback from them to our record center. So first, the positive side is easy to contact with. So we are easy to contact with, although from social media, emails, or others. It is so easy. Like, you do not have to, come to our record center and to ask us about your records. And next is fast response. We do give fast response to our clients. And lastly is secure records in any formats. We do keep all the records in good shape and depend on their records, such as online or manual. Next is negative misplaced location of the records. So this is usual for us. We always misplace the records to another place. Next is lack skills in handling technology. So, like as we say, our weakness for the record center is lacking of giving training to our staff. So this is why this lack skills in handling technology happen. Next is establishing a full record center. So first is solution for the weakness: misplaced location of record, lack skills in handling technology. So we will, for the solution, first is misplaced. So we're gonna record all of where do we keep all the information in a good system. And next is we try to provide a good training for our staff. Next is launching program. So our launching program is named Safekeeping in our premier precedence, when it will be held during a weekend, who will involve public or private organization, and how we're gonna promote before the actual event starts. So we're gonna promote them within our social media, our emails, or even newsletter for that to the clients that have subscribed to our newsletter. Next is promotional activities for public about our launching program. So first, we promote the program through online surfaces by posting on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So we're gonna update back to back about our event or about our program, and also what do we serve from our record center. And next is using posters and flyers to promote our record center. So we're gonna pass out all of the posters and flyers, to our target clients, and poster we're gonna hang up around the city. And lastly is giving out our guidelines on how we keep and handle the records. So this is a way how to attract our future clients.
Alright, now we move to the caring for record in different formats under the topic of temperature and lighting. Okay, so because record center retain a variety of material together with varying storage conditions, the suggested mean temperature within 65 Celsius and 72 Celsius with humidity levels between 40% and 55%. This will be the perfect temperature to even get perfect condition for all materials, and we utilize UV light filter screen from each window in the building for lighting. Alright, now we move to the next point, which is format for materials and teeth. So first, for the format for materials, we have put it in a label. There is two sections, which is types and format. So for the photograph, the format is acid-free folder, paper, boxes, maps and plans, cardboard tubes, and last but not least, electronic records. The format is hard disk. And then we move to the teeth. So the brand Hilux IPC D140H LAN IP CCTV camera was chosen, and there were 9 cameras installed across the premises. and the cost of the single item is around 336 ringgit. Now we move to the fire control, as you can see right here. So first, for the fire detector, we have chose Xiaomi brand that have a feature long-lasting security reliable quality, and we have put it 6 unit around our premises, and it costs around 169 ringgit. We decide to put fire detector because it can alert the user and staff if any fire occur. Alright, so we also put fire extinguisher because it is mandatory things for any building or any company buildings. We choose the format ABC, which sounds familiar. Okay, so it is have feature ABC chemical powder that produced after intensive, and it is very effective against A, B, C and E fires. We put 5 units around our premises, and it costs around 165 ringgit, and you can get it at its official website. Alright, now we move to the pest control and disaster control. So for the pest control, as you can see up here, okay, we will contact the pest controller to undertake a checkup for our record center. This is to ensure that the items we store are not infested with infect or other harmful organism. And next, for the disaster control, as you can see right here, okay, so this is a figure of disaster control cycle. So we have preparedness, response, recover and mitigation.
Next is determine our plan for costing service. So this is our salaries and wages. So this is the timetable where we have many kinds of staff. We have record manager, we have a storage clerk, we have administration clerk. So we have a lot of staff, and this is all of the salary that we pay to them, and this is the whole total of it. And next is building and area rental. So this is the total how much of our budget to start up our record center, our land, our electricity and so on.
Next is facilities and equipment purchase. So here the list that what SNS provide. Actually, we spend that amount of total for office facilities such as table and chair, and for the safety equipments like CCTV, fire detector, and all the total amount is 8,196 ringgit. I will continue to the conclusion. So to summarize, in order of the market record center, we must set up an organized activity or promotional strategy that will attract and convince company or client to join us. So we hope that in future, SNS Record Center will be successful record center in Malaysia. As the result, we hope that record center aims and goals will be realized in future. I think that's all from us. Thank you for your cooperation and your attention. Assalamualaikum.